Hey there, Saber fans, Shamim here. Today I am very excited to share with you all my full review of the brand new line of 0.45 scale miniature lightsaber replicas by Korbanth sabers. A lot of you will remember the old Master Replicas line of 0.45 scale miniature lightsabers that were made in the early to mid 2000s. Those have long since been discontinued, and there haven't really been any miniature half-scale lightsabers available to saber collectors in those intervening 20 or so years, apart from one Ray lightsaber made by EFX and Loot Crate back to coincide with the release of The Force Awakens. But other than that, we haven't had any miniature lightsabers of any kind of quality or regularity in about 20 years or so. So I am ecstatic. I am so happy and excited that Korbanth has made a line of 0.45 scale lightsabers and that he provided these hilts to me for review. I'll be sending all of them back at the end of the review, but I will be keeping a few for myself because I do really love the 0.45 scale lightsabers. It's a beautiful little miniature. If space is tight in your collection and you still want to have some lightsabers on display, these 0.45 scale lightsabers are a great option to have. So it looks like we have 14 lightsaber hilts from across the three different trilogies that we have for Star Wars. So I'm going to go through each one by one and just do a little analysis and review of each guy so that you can see some of the detail, the fine work that went into all of these hilts. Before we get started, though, I want to point out that all of these hilts are CNC machined aluminum. As opposed to the old Master Replicas, which were die-cast metal. So you have a higher quality of metal, you have different manufacturing process, and I think you've come out with some really beautiful hilts here. Vast majority of them I'm absolutely in love with. So we'll go through each one, and we'll see what we can see. First up, if you know me and my channel, you know that the Obi-Wan prequel hilt from Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace is one of my least favorite lightsaber designs, mostly down to this pommel. So it is a testament to Korbanth's design and quality and production of this hilt that I would not mind having this on my shelf. It is a beautiful chrome-plated hilt. You've got your red button there, your gold greebly, got the nice ridging. It looks like this version does not have the holes in the pommel cubes. I'm not super up to date on whether that makes it an Attack of the Clones or a Phantom Menace version. You got your beautiful blade plug. And of course, because it is chrome plated, it's going to be a nice fingerprint magnet. So make sure you have a nice cloth available to keep that clean and polished. Beautiful hilt. These weigh about the same as the old Master Replicas hilts. They have a really nice feel in the hand. They look beautiful, they feel beautiful. I'm really pleased with how they turned out. I also can't remember if Master Replicas ever made the Obi-Wan prequel hilt. I think they may have, but up next is one that I know Master Replicas definitely did not make back in the day. This is Starkiller's hilt from The Force Unleashed 2. And to my knowledge is the only miniature lightsaber to come with a leather wrap, which makes it a very unique and beautiful hilt. I've never played The Force Unleashed 2. I've played the first one, but this hilt has a really nice design. I love especially the detailing on the Skull Crusher pommel. Look at the brass and the black and the silver and then the gray. It's just a really beautiful set of colors that go together. Some really nice detailing on the pommel there. You've got your leather wrap going around the midsection there. A circuit card, some detailing here. You got a nice big red button and a beautiful Graflex style blade plug. So this is a lovely hilt for those Starkiller fans that you want to add to your collection. Next up is, of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber from Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. This is my favorite lightsaber design. It's interesting that Obi-Wan's Episode 1 and 2 hilt is my least favorite. Obi-Wan Episode 3 is my most favorite. You've got your beautiful silver and copper and brass up here. Beautiful gloss black. You've got chrome-plated clamp and pommel. And then, for some reason, this particular greebly here, it didn't come in the correct copper color. It came silver chrome-plated, just like the other wheel greebly there, but that's an easy fix with a Sharpie or some other paint. And maybe it was just this particular one was a prototype. I'm not sure if the production will have it or not. But anyway, gorgeous, gorgeous, shiny coloring here. It's such a beautiful hilt. And this one matches very, very nicely with the Master Replicas line as well. Next up, another prequel hilt. Mace Windu's from Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. There might be small variations between those two movie hilts, but I am not familiar enough with them. This one matches very, very closely with the Master Replicas one. You've got your gorgeous detailing here on the leather, or the faux rubber, I should say, not leather. You've got gorgeous electroplated gold accents here with the buttons. The grips are a pretty nice rubber. They have a little bit of give to them, which is nice, so they're not hard plastic. Got more rubber detailing down here. It's a very unique set of patterns here. Got your extended cover tech knob, which is accurate to the film. Beautiful pommel there. Really, really nice hilt. Next up, we've got General Leia Organa. This is, of course, the hilt that we were introduced to in The Rise of Skywalker, the final line in the Skywalker sequel trilogy. I've never owned a full-scale replica of this hilt, so I don't really have a lot to compare it to. But I do know that there's supposed to be some mother-of-pearl inlay in the grip, and let's see if we can see the detailing that you do have a really nice sheen there. I'm not sure if it's mother-of-pearl or if it's some sort of faux mother-of-pearl, but whatever it is, the sheen looks really, really nice in those inner grip sections here. You can't really tell on this camera with this lighting, but there is a iridescence to it. You can sort of see it there. Really, really beautiful. And the copper accenting all throughout is quite nice. It's a really interesting emitter where you've got some shine through going on. Obviously, there's no blade or electronics here, but this is also sort of my own review of the Episode 9 Leia lightsaber. Nice big button there, again with some mother-of-pearl iridescence there, which is quite lovely. And then D-ring on the pommel. So, of course, Master Replicas never got to that one. So if you're a fan of sequel trilogy and you want Leia's lightsaber, you got to have that. Speaking of things that Master Replicas never got to and that you really need to have in your collection, this is probably my favorite out of the entire line. This is Darth Vader's stunt saber from Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. This is my favorite version of Darth Vader's lightsaber. It's from my favorite Star Wars movie, Return of the Jedi, Episode 6, and is the one Darth Vader lightsaber that Master Replicas never made. They made ones from Episode 3, 4, 5, but they never made 6 for some reason. So I am delighted that Korbanth has made one here. Really, really solid feel, beautiful. You've got a really kind of hard rubber on the grips, which is nice. You've got the detailing on the control box buttons, all these little rivets throughout the upper part of the hilt. Gorgeous long silver blade plug there, and you've got the 2 D-rings, which is accurate, a regular D-ring up on top, and then a cobalt D-ring down at the bottom. Gorgeous, gorgeous hilt. I'm so happy to finally be able to add this to my 0.45 scale collection. And we continue on again with something brand new. This is Cal Kestis's hilt from the Jedi Order, Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor video games. I only played the first one. I haven't played the second one yet, but I believe this is, what do they call it, the Ogdo Killer, affectionately for that giant monster that you get to kill with your lightsaber. It's got some really nice detailing here on these greeblies. I'm not sure how accurate that is to the game, but whatever it is really, really nice. And then you've got a hint of copper, I think it looks like. Copper or brass underneath the shroud. It looks like brass, maybe. But you've got that detailing, a little bit of weathering on that greebly as well. A really handsome blade plug, these long shrouds. You've got this textured pattern here, the knurling. And then I wouldn't mind in future. I know that this hilt sort of is damaged at the beginning of the game, so I wouldn't mind if Korbanth, sometime in the future, maybe if this line does well, he might consider an add-on, because this pommel does unscrew. So maybe we can have a sort of an adaptive system here where you can swap out the pommel for a finished one or a damaged one. Really beautiful hilt for those fans of Cal Kestis there. Next up, Saber fans, it's Graphics time. This is the Empire Strikes Back version Korbanth's take on it. I really like that you've got the shiny red buttons there. It's very reminiscent of Korbanth's original 2.0 Graflex hilts from back in the day, if you remember those from like 2015, 2016. So it's very reminiscent of those hilts as well. You've got your rivets, faux rivets there along the grips and in the Cobalt D-ring. Of course, there's no stamping on the bottom like there were on the Master Replicas ones. It's just blank because these are Korbanth's runs. You've got your nice Graflex clamp. You got the lines going through there. You've got your silver blade plug. One of the things with the red button, I don't know if you can really tell, but it does depress a little bit on both sides, which is a really nice detail that Korbanth didn't need to do, but he did that for us, and I'm appreciative of that. Next up, this is the Obi-Wan Kenobi hilt from the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show. You see you've got your MK1 style balance pipe up here, different from the emitter in the episode 3, and then you've got a slightly darker and more weathered copper section and brass section there to match the overall weathered feel of that hilt. So this one does come with a copper greebly here, so I wonder if it was just a mistake on the particular Revenge of the Sith hilt that I got. Really, really beautiful. It's a nice blend of the Ewan McGregor and Alec Guinness hilts for Obi-Wan Kenobi in the show, so that's lovely. Next up, we got a Youngling Slayer. Master Skywalker, there's too many of them. What are we going to do? This is a really beautiful reproduction of the Anakin Revenge of the Sith hilt. You've got the gorgeous copper coloring on the front and back buttons. You've got a really nice style of Graflex pins there, just sort of more rounded compared to the vintage Graflex ones you would find. Gorgeous emitter up there with the brass. Let's see if we can get the focus there. Nice detailing on the circuit card and the knurling on the clamp. Again, no stamping down there, but you do get the beautiful concentric rings. And of course, it is a fingerprint magnet with the chrome plating. Gorgeous, gorgeous hilt. Next up, we've got another hilt from my favorite Star Wars movie, Luke Skywalker's Return of the Jedi. This is the hero version of the hilt. I see you have constructed a new lightsaber. Really nice, I'm not sure if it's acrylic or resin, red and green arrows, but they have a nice sheen to them, really nice. You've got some faux rivet screws, or not rivet screws, but flathead screws there underneath, I should say underneath the red and green buttons. Got your D-ring here on the cube directly opposite of the clamp. The clamp card is pretty nice. Really nice, rich copper coloring on the neck, which I really love. Again, the emitter does unscrew, so I wouldn't mind in future. Korbanth, if you're listening, I'd love to see a replaceable option for maybe a Force Awakens or The Last Jedi emitter with the balance pipe style emitter. That would be a really fun option. I'd love to see that. And here's another hilt that Master Replicas did produce. Again, it's one that we never saw on screen. This is the promotional picture version of Darth Vader's lightsaber from Episode 3. It got some nice hard rubber grips, gorgeous detailing here. This is probably my least favorite Darth Vader hilt, but it's still got the gorgeous chrome plating that you see across most of the prequel-style hero hilts. A really unique beautiful circuit card there, really sleek side lever there, replicating kind of what the Darth Vader silhouette looks like, but of course has its own prequel flair to it. Speaking of flair, the pommel has some really nice detailing there, which I am a fan of. Really nice. I love how it catches the light there on all the circles and the rings. So this is a gorgeous reproduction of Vader's hilt. Second to last, we've got one of my favorite Jedis, Qui-Gon Jinn, played to perfection by Liam Neeson in The Force Awakens. In The Phantom Menace. Beautiful red single button there, just accenting an otherwise black and silver hilt. So this one's got a sort of an anodized, matte anodized finish to the shroud, which is very beautiful. I'm actually really digging how it pops against the gloss black with your deep, deep grooves you can see up there against the wave pattern. Really, really nice deep grooves there. Pommel detailing, you've got your cover tech knob, It's a simple, beautiful hilt. And again, I don't think this is one that Master Replicas produced. It's either the Qui-Gon or the Obi-Wan from Phantom Menace that Master Replicas never did. And either way, I'm glad that Korbanth now has all three of the hilts from the Duel of the Fates. And of course, this is now the last hilt from that famous duel, Darth Maul's Episode 1 double-sided lightsaber. You've got your nice emitter, flat emitter there. You'll notice that there are no black, there's no black coloring in the emitter windows there. That's something that I believe was left off for a couple reasons. One, I think, is machining cost and finishing cost, so that Korbanth could continue to offer this hilt at the price that it is offered at. If we had to have that anodized there in the middle of all these emitter windows, I think this hilt would have cost a lot more, is my understanding. But then it also leaves room for custom saber makers to weather the hilt as heavily or as lightly as they would like. And so it's pretty easy to go in with a fine-tipped pen or a Sharpie or something and fill in those windows, but then you can also add in all the weathering that you want depending on what particular scene from the Phantom Menace you're trying to replicate. You've got some O-rings throughout the length of the hilt, really, really beautiful red and silver buttons. Got some really lovely knurling pattern on the red one, and the pattern on the silver one. I'm not sure what that ridging is called. Let's see if we can get a closer look, the up and down ridging. But really, really beautiful details here. So I'm quite pleased with this, and I look forward to coloring in some of those windows myself. And we'll put that there for now. So yeah, you might be wondering, Shamim, I already have a bunch of lightsabers from Master Replicas when they did their 0.45 scale run. Why would I want any of these Korbanth hilts? Well, obviously, you will see that many of these hilts that Korbanth has in this first wave were never made by Master Replicas. You've got the hilts that never existed in movies that didn't exist 20 years ago, and then you've also got hilts that Master Replicas just never got around to doing, even though those movies or those games might have been around at the time. So this is a really nice new offering of hilts that we never had 20 years ago. You also might think, like, 20 years ago, the production, the materials used in production were different. As I said, those old ones were die-cast. These are CNC machined. And those old ones are discontinued. You go on eBay, you might be able to find some of them from decent pricing if you're very lucky, or you find them used or in a condition that isn't great. But these are new. These are brand new. These are in production currently. They're not going to run out hopefully anytime soon. So if you missed out even on the ones that Master Replicas did produce, like some of these prequel hilts, for example, this is your chance to get Korbanth's version. This is your chance to get a brand new version of it. You can do your own comparison. One of them maybe you can weather. One of them you can have pristine on your shelf. So it's a really nice option, especially for those younger fans of Star Wars who weren't even born 20 years ago, never had the chance to buy Master Replicas mini hilts at retail price. Now you have an opportunity to buy them from Korbanth. So speaking of price, I'll mention that they retail for $139 each. And then if you buy 3 of them, you get a discount of $99 each. So that's a killer deal if you're looking for a batch of 3. Either 3 of the same or, mix and match, 1, 2, 3 of each. You get a really good deal at $99 each. And then they come with some basic saber display stands, which I'll go over the stands in just a minute. But I will mention again that, I think pricing-wise, it's a really, really fair, good price point when you consider that full-size hilts are anywhere between $200 and $400 each empty, depending on what style it is. Sometimes you'll get them a little bit cheaper depending on the style or how rare it is, or etc. But most empty full-size hilts are in between $200, $250, $300. So if you're going to get a saber half that size, it makes sense for the saber to be half that price. So I think the price point is very fair. You get a lot of bang for your buck. And of course, if you're getting 3, that really is the best bang for your buck. So I really would recommend getting 3. Now, the problem for me is going to be limiting it to 3, because obviously I'm getting 3 of these because they're my favorite. I want the Obi-Wan one as well. So Korbanth, I don't think I'm going to send all of these back to you. I'm gonna keep a few for myself. So I'll send some money your way. But now I'd like to do a real quick comparison of the Master Replicas version of one of them. So this is a Master Replicas Anakin Episode 3. You can see there is the text down at the bottom for Master Replicas, Lucasfilm, etc. And I just like to do a real quick side-by-side to show you that, let's see if we can, let me put one here. That's the Korbanth one. No, I'm sorry, hold on. This is the Korbanth one on the right. It doesn't have the stand. It's hard to even tell. They look very, very similar. So you can see that they are the same size. They are the same scale. They have a very similar weight to them. And they have the same beautiful chrome plating. Really, really nice detailing on the clamp and the circuit card. So let me just do this is, again, Master Replicas. This is the Korbanth one. So very similar gold coloring on the buttons there on the front. The clamp looks very, very similar. Great reproduction. I think Korbanth has done a really nice job. So you can, I think you can rest easy knowing that if you missed out on a Master Replicas one, you'll be getting very good quality from Korbanth as well. And that's often been the case with a lot of his hilts that he's made. So we'll put that one aside. And now I want to briefly look at some of the stand options that come with these hilts. So if you get a single hilt, you'll be getting a basic stand like this. It says Korbanth Sabers there with the website. And then it has these two interchangeable stands there, the legs. And so you can mix and match depending on which direction you want to display your lightsaber. You can do that. So let's just put that there as an example. And I think this one is more suited for a thin neck. Let's try that instead. Yeah. So you've got a nice thin neck standing there. This little plaque back here, if you wanted to, you will see on the bottom of the Korbanth hilt are two little pilot holes that you can drill. And then there's two similar holes here. So you can put a little rod through on either of those holes. And then you end up with a nice display stand here that either has Korbanth Sabers metal logo, or if you flip it around, you want to get a signature from the actor, for example. Hayden Christensen can sign right there for an Anakin Skywalker hilt. I think there's a couple different varieties. You can reach out to Korbanth and see which version you would like. But these also come with each of these stands, and they fit pretty nicely together there. So let's, even without the, come on. Even without drilling the holes, it's a pretty nice fit there. And you can go there. All right, let's put that there. All right, next up we have different option stand. This one says Star Wars down at the bottom. And these next three stands are designed by Shadowfoil props. Really, really nice design. And these come in either 3, 2, or single tier stand varieties. These can pop in and out. And so I think it'll either come with 1, 2, or 3, or you can request that from Korbanth what you want. You'll check out the website for details. I'm not entirely sure what the process is, but you can look at the details on the website for more information. So that is a nice display option as well. Next up, you've got a little bit more of a premium stand with some nice detailing around the base, a spot for a custom plaque that will go there. And again, this can come in either single, 2, or 3 tiers, depending on what style of hilt you want. So like here, you could put Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker's from episode 6. You got a stand for 2. And then those stand legs are screwed into the bottom of the base there. So that's a nice option. We'll set that off to the side. And then your final option for stand is a lit. Let me see if I can find. It comes with AA batteries. You press the button, and you've got a lit saber stand for whichever lightsaber you want to put on there. So this is a nice Anakin Skywalker plaque, so we can put an Anakin Skywalker lightsaber on there. One of the things I want to highlight about all of these plaques from Shadow Foil is that you will notice that there are, let me actually show it on this one instead. There are grooves cut into each of the stands there. And this allows for little spacers, little washers of different sizes to be put in. And there's one. So depending on whether your saber has a thin neck or whether it has grips or, it's perfectly straight, either way, you'll find an option that works. So like you can see that there is one of those spacers here and a different size spacer here, so that the Anakin Skywalker lightsaber, which has grips, can sit straight and flush on that stand. So again, this is my full review of the 0.45 scale line of lightsabers by Korbanth. Really happy with how they all turned out. I think they're all beautiful. I love the old Master Replicas hilts in this same scale, so I'm really happy that Korbanth has made a new line of them. I'm really hoping that the line goes well. The links for all of these are down in the description below. And if you want to see additional hilts in the 0.45 scale by Korbanth in future, please comment below. Korbanth has asked me to sort of run an informal poll to see what hilts he might do in future if this first run of hilts is successful. We might have a wave 2 featuring some Count Dooku or some expanded universe hilts. Personally, I'd love to see some of the Solo twins, Jason and Jaina. I'd love to see Mara Jade. So if you're interested in any of those hilts or some other hilts from movies or video games that you want realized in the miniature line, please let me know below. Let Korbanth know directly. Please visit his website. Check out these hilts. I'm really happy with them. So thank you all so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.